All right. Liquid Therapy Podcast, episode 3 with your hosts, the two guys here. It's pretty easy to see who it is. You guys are coming back, the 10 people who watch our podcast. That's what's up. I appreciate it. Love to see it. The podcast where we have a candid conversation, we have a nice cold drink. And today, myself, I'm drinking a Ricker's Red. I have a couple here on deck. It's a nice amber lager. And what we do here is we just chat and chill and, have a conversation. And we like to have our alcoholic beverages, so that's mine today. What do you got, homie?
I'm sitting here drinking. We're back to the Guyanese rum again. So nice, fucking El Diablo going on.
Hell yeah.
Beautiful. Got it mixed in a little bit with some nice cherry root beer. It's beautiful.
Nice, nice, nice. All right. Well, our podcast today, like we always have a conversation starter that we always like. We already know what we want to talk about here. If you guys haven't caught that yet, surprisingly, it's not 100% us just winging it, but it'll come eventually. But right now, we're both huge into gaming. We both know a lot about our favorite video games. We know we have a lot to talk about when it comes to video games, and gaming as a whole is something we do on a regular basis. So I think that's something we got to talk about pretty deeply today. I have a couple ideas and thoughts on my head I want to get off, and so do you. So let's start it off, dude. What is your favorite game from your childhood growing up? What is the best game you can remember?
Favorite game from my childhood? Ooh.
Yes, sir.
I almost want to say something N64 related and whatnot because that was a good time. I love that fucking system, even though it's old as brick now.
Old as hell,
Uh,
my God.
I gotta honestly, I'm a fan of the Pokemon series back when I was a kid.
See, that's something like I never even got into that. Like I played a little bit, but I never really got into it. I didn't understand anything. When I saw it was popping off, I was like, I gotta do something different. So I instantly went to Call of Duty. That's like the only thing I played. That and Halo though. I think Halo is the one thing growing up that like stuck with me pretty well. I mean, until they ruined it, they kind of did. But like Pokemon was huge and that was damn popular. And for some reason, it's more popular now. But like,
Oh
and not
yeah.
even the good part of it, just the cards. But like. I think Halo specifically, but like when you say Pokemon, did you play like because I don't know anything about it. It's just gonna sound boomer as hell, or not even. It's gonna sound I don't know Zoomer, Boomer, but I don't know which one. But regardless,
Is it
what
yeah.
Pokemons were they? Because there was like X, Y, and Z or some shit like that, and then there was like
Oh, that's all new shit.
yeah, I have no
Back
idea.
then, it
I
was
have no
like
fucking
even
clue.
more basic. It was fucking gold, silver, fucking
Oh yeah, okay,
red,
yeah.
green. We were going fucking colors. Then we
Going colors. We
somehow
got the
derived
rainbow, and
to
then we made
going
it
to
to fucking
letters.
math. Yeah, we went into the fucking mathematician side of things, where math gets annoying, Pokemon gets exciting. So,
Yeah.
uh, but like yeah, you and I played a lot of video games growing up, especially together. Like that was pretty well how we hung out for the most part. We would literally just have our TVs like if anyone wants a visual of what would happen, we would hang out at my place, and then we would play video games other than at home separately. Either way, he would bring over his Xbox, and what did you bring your TV as well?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, bring the TV as well, which I'm pretty sure was like the 32-inch RCA TV that I also had or something like similar. And then we would bring it over, put it on the I don't know, like the table in the living room or wherever, probably the dining room even. And then
Yeah,
we
the
would just
dining
play
room
video
table.
games. We would just like play video games literally all day, all night. It is consistent too. It's like all we did. So I mean, we didn't really play any Pokemon together, but what we did play together a lot was Call of Duty. Like quite a lot. So like what do you remember what the first Call of Duty you played was?
Oh fuck. The one I remember most was I think it was World at War.
World at
World at
War?
War?
I think so,
Yeah.
yeah. That
Yeah,
one
because
was
World
like
at War was before COD 4, wasn't it?
yeah, yeah. Oh, I think
Yeah.
so. It damn well should be. If it's not, we're gonna look stupid. Like they're lying about the whole situation. Like, dude, COD. I think it was bro. I COD 3, whatever it was. Like, I can't even remember like if there were Call of Duty 1, 2, and 3. Like, who knows anymore? I can't remember what the hell happened. But
Yeah.
that specifically, like, when getting into like whatever's before COD 4. Like whatever one of those three games. I remember playing it in those very, very little amounts and just being like, oh, it's like, kind of fun, but it's not incredible. I went right back to Halo and I was playing Halo like 2 and 3
Oh yeah.
religiously. And then I realized that I liked the gunplay in Halo, but I stopped liking it for a little bit because it got a little bit, stale for me because I didn't have a whole lot of video games. So then I saw COD 4 come out, or like, popularize a lot. So then I started playing that like crazy, and I got hooked. The violence in it was all I cared about. I loved it, dude. It was so sick. So like I think like COD 4 back in the day was like the one that really got me addicted to it. But goddamn, the amount of different Call of Duties and different styles and all that stuff that's come out over the days, like over the years. I mean, whatever, it's been like absolutely insane. It's gone a little bit wonky, I think.
Yeah.
But I think they really like had a perfect point. Like as you grow up, like COD 4, and then you get into like the BO2, MW2. Those were like really really addicting. BO1 was good. MW3 was also really good too. And then it just kind of fell. Like it just I stopped liking it because it got worse and worse and worse. And I started playing Minecraft more. I started playing Far Cry. I started playing dude, Monkey Balls. Oh my god, that was a throwback. But I started playing games like that. But goddamn. So how about like the most time I've spent on a game though, and I want to know what yours is. Like real because I feel like I already know the answer to this. Uh, but I say like the most time I've sunk into one video game in like one session when I was really addicted had to been like Far Cry 3.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna take a guess, but you go in. I want to hear about yours. But like my guess for you is Skyrim 100%.
Yeah, and overall, like past and present, yeah, it's definitely Skyrim that I sunk the most time into.
Hmm.
Um, it really was an addictive game back then, especially if you were into the medieval magic system and all that fun shit. Like MMOs were, or not MMOs, RPGs were pretty fucking big
Hmm.
and whatnot for back then, but it kind of just hit that point where it's got enough customability, and the overall system was pretty good. Like I would have appreciated it more if we didn't go into the Skyrim online shit that they're doing now. I personally haven't gotten into it. I never really looked into it. I have some attachment with like WoW and whatnot now. I haven't recently played it, but
Hmm.
if I'm doing like a comparison, I think I'd rather play WoW than the Skyrim Online.
That's something I always wanted to play WoW, but I never got into it. And the only reason I shit you not is because there's a paywall.
Yeah.
That like
Subscription fee, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I don't want to subscribe to playing a video game. I was like, at that point, like, I don't know. I barely want to pay for games. Like the conversation we've had countless times about like skins and stuff like that. I was like, I don't want to
Yeah.
pay to play a video game. Like, I'll pay a one-time fee to buy a video game, but if I have to continuously pay to play a game, that is, we everyone knows it's a game that pretty well never ends.
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna find an ending to that. You're always gonna have more to do. So like if you get addicted to it, they're just gonna keep eating your money as long as you live. You know what I mean? Like, and I,
Yeah.
I I don't even pay to go to the gym, bro. I just have a shit at home. Like I'm trying to cut corners here. Like, so that's what I want to do. God damn, I'm drinking a beer on this episode, so it's gonna be fucking pure gas. But yeah, I think Skyrim was your huge thing. I never got into it. That as well as even our buddy Nick, he played Skyrim a lot, and he also played like Fallout, and he played Red Dead, and all these other games. I
Yeah.
never liked any of them, which I wish I did. Like that's the truth. I wish I did, but like I just couldn't get into it. Like I always just liked the FPS. I think like FPS games are like the only kind of games, and like pretty like the main thing that I played for a long time, or just anything that was in that area. But like now I play like the games I play on stream. This like I don't like playing Minecraft specifically by itself. It's really boring to me, and it also just feels kind of like kind of lame. But then I got into playing a server for the first time, and then nowadays like with the gaming that I do, Hypixel Skyblock being something that is entirely different than anything I have ever gotten into, let alone like enjoyed or like even thought I would ever try. And now I'm addicted to it. Now I play it every day for stream. Played it for 4 years on and off. So it just makes no sense to me because it's MMORPG, something that I never thought I was into, never actually got into, and now it's like making me question: do I want to try like other games? Like, do I want to try WoW? Do I want to try like New World? I don't know. That one's really not incredible, I hear, but like certain games like that, it's making me kind of think I gotta give some other games a try.
See, New World was a immaculate idea, and it was executed kind of well, but kind of not. The problem was that they gave the full game basically as a demo from what I've heard, because I never bothered to play it after that, because what happened is that people were playing the demo and they fully finished the demo, which in turn fully finished the game. And once they actually got the game, they're like, it wasn't anything new. They already saw everything that was in there, so it kind of defeated the whole purpose, which kind of really sunk it. What should have happened was that, if anything, you give them like a quarter, and that's being like really, really gracious right there, a quarter of the game and whatnot, because otherwise you're always supposed to give them like what you'd say an episode would be, like just like the first type of mission and
Mhm.
whatnot, just to see what you're going to be ending up doing and all that, and then you cut it. Well, you can't give them the full thing, or else they'll people are straight into games nowadays. They'll fucking burn the whole thing. They don't have any problem doing that. They don't care about how much time it's going to take and
Yeah.
whatnot. So it wasn't a smart move.
Like I played the beta and I played that. When I was in it, I was like, oh, this looks like a really fun game. It's just really grindy. And then I saw people like I think it was Shroud playing it, and I think a couple hours in, all he was doing was breaking trees over and over and over again. I was like, this is, and I played, I don't know what I was playing then, but I think I was playing Skyblock at that point. And that's exactly what Skyblock's like. I mean, it's just grinding skills, right? Like you're just grinding skills for XP and whatnot, like in collections, like nonstop. That's like the majority of the game. And I was like, I understand like that, that it's gonna be fun for that game, but I already do that. So I'm like, is there anything else in it? Then I saw like the system where like there's little dungeon things you can get into and stuff like that, and I was like, oh, that looks
Yeah.
pretty sick. But then I was saw in the like I looked up some posts and I saw that everyone was saying, "Oh, I've completed like the majority of the game. There's literally nothing left to do. I think we hit the wall, so we have to wait for the content to come out." And then someone, I don't know who it was, but someone brought up, "No, this is literally the whole game." And we're
Yeah.
like, "What?" I was like, "I haven't even gotten into it, and I'm already bored." I'm like, "Cause like there's nothing to do. Like we like other than that, you just get your skills up, sure, but." Like, yeah, you're a little squishy. You don't have a whole lot of EHP. You can't really deal too much damage. You can't fight certain things, and like I'm like that's one thing. And then I was like, well, surely there's more because like what you're saying, give it like a quarter of it, but then you're
Yeah.
also supposed to lock them in a certain area so they can't ruin it for themselves. But that whole thing, not only did it, ruin and like pretty well fry the brains of anyone like that was playing it. It ruined the fun for it and the excitement. It also ruined their GPUs. So it's like, what did you gain out of that? Is a hefty price tag that like they had to pay back to fix things because the GPUs even I'm pretty sure they fried new graphics cards like the new series. I don't know if it was a
Mm.
30 series. I think no, I think it was a 20. I'm not sure, but they literally fried GPUs across like a shit ton of players too. Like it was so heavy that it straight up destroyed the GPUs that people were using to play it. So they had to go and send out a whole bunch of them and like replace them and shit like that. Whoever did claim it, but there's a lot of people who didn't. So like not only did they ruin PCs or GPUs, so basically the PC. They also ruined their entire game within a first like little launch of a demo, or beta, and then they failed to even update it too much. I think so. I think it just died. Like I really I don't think there's much people that like actually do play it. There is going to be like some people who just want to like ubermax everything and they're going to keep playing it, playing it, playing it until they do. But I honestly think like that game's kind of dead. But like that was one that I was actually kind of willing to keep on playing. I was like I'm getting kind of bored now because there's a wall, and I know what's coming up. It's just repetition.
Yeah.
But the fact that they didn't even like build off of that is insane to me. Like they might have now. Maybe it's better, but wow, that shit like blew my mind. So that game aside, I feel like WoW is the only large like MMO or RPG, whatever, like only kind of game that I could get into that I haven't seen too much of and that doesn't have a cap, which
Yeah.
is kind of lame. But I don't know what was some other ones because I don't really know anything about like most of the games that come out. I really never look into new games. I always get super disappointed, so I never do it. But like, do you have any other ones
In terms of what? Sorry.
like MMOs and stuff like that that like are like really popular ones or whatever? Because like I don't know shit.
Oof. If we're talking MMOs or RPGs, because they're
I
two
mean,
different things, but they can be the same thing at the same time.
I mean, MMORPG like together. Fuck it, we're going like we're going a combination, a little clash of it because that's the kind of what I play. But like, I like when I hear MMO and I hear RPG, think
Yeah.
massive multiplayer online. But then like RPG would in my head, I think they're the same. Like I think they play the same. They kind of
Yeah.
do. So it's just like anything in that area. So pretty well just games similar to WoW, similar to New World, similar to the shit that I play, whatever, like stuff like that. What other games are there?
So if we're still talking about a fantasy based game and
There you go,
whatnot
delete.
in that area, I still have to preach that the Soul series, especially Elden Ring, fantastic fucking game, fantastic game line.
Fuck.
I can't help but preach that line. The the term for Souls games and the basis on them for like their core is the fact that you have to be good to be playing these fucking games and
Mhm.
whatnot. Realistically, and the whole get good stems from that faction itself is the Soul series. Because if you weren't good and you couldn't fucking get your shit together and figure things out on the fly, you were fucked. Because so have you ever like looked into like how the system works for a Souls game?
No. Oh, are you talking about like the way you actually like progress in the game, like character wise, like the skills and like that kind of stuff?
Well, so one of the main difficulties for a Souls game is the fact that you have your amount of XP or souls
Hmm.
or whatever the hell it is. I think it was ashes for Elden Ring. And what would happen is that you have that raw amount. Well, doesn't matter where the hell you go, doesn't matter what the fuck you're doing. If you die, you drop all that.
Hmm.
You drop all that. It's a form of currency. Also currency is how you level up as well. So it goes both in tandem. Those are your experience and your currency. So if you die in a boss room and you drop it, it's fucking there.
Hmm.
And it's not going anywhere until you go back and you somehow fucking beat that boss. Because what happens is if you leave it somewhere and you fuck off somewhere else and you die there, well, it takes your new total that you had when you died. So whatever you left behind is gone.
That's tough.
So if you got like a fucking nice 50k stack of fucking souls and you just got murked in the boss room, and then you get murked on the way back to the boss room, well, guess what? You're fucking SOL. Your 50k is gone.
That's fucking tough. See, like I
It's
haven't
a
I haven't really tried any like I don't know what games that I've played that have that specifically, but I know there was a couple of games that like people were looking into where they were like bare bones like that. Like if you die, you die. You drop your shit, you drop your shit. Like
yeah.
and then like a lot of games I play where like you die, you respawn, you have everything, or you die, you respawn, you have absolutely nothing, but you can buy it back because you have your currency and stuff like that. But I feel like I should try it one day just so I can understand it better because like
Yeah.
I got a lot of free time like that I fill by playing the same shit over and over again and
Yeah.
complaining that I don't want to play the same shit over and over again. Also in my head saying I wish there was other games that I would, be able to play. Meanwhile, we have an unlimited amount of options. Like there is no end to it. Like have you ever just sat around I guarantee I feel like everyone has, but the moment where like, you're sitting on Steam and you're like, I don't know what to do. You just scroll through random free to play games and you just play like fucking five different ones in the day.
Uh, See, I have a problem with that. I'm not too into it. I'm really meticulous on the games I actually go out and play and spend my time on and whatnot.
Hmm.
I don't like spending time on games that I'm looking at and I feel like I don't really have any intention and whatnot. I need like a preemptive grasp on what the game is and whatnot. Like um using Elden Ring as an example again, it when it first came out, what grabbed my attention was the fact that um, the Game of Thrones author was helping the story and whatnot, which really fucking grabs your attention when you hear that because that was such a big fucking series and
That
whatnot,
I've
and that
watched it
was
through
phenomenal.
twice. and one of the best series I've ever watched, 100%.
Yeah, so it really gets your attention, but in combination of Souls game as well, like Sekiro was I believe the last one that they did because believe Bloodborne was before that one. But Sekiro is still a really high paying game and whatnot in terms of like if you look on Steam, if you go like anywhere like a pawn shop or something like that, it's still a highly paid game and whatnot because it still did phenomenal. And the fact that Elden Ring followed behind it and ended up winning Game of the Year and whatnot, it says a lot.
Yeah, that game
Phenomenal fucking
blew.
game.
Like they know what they're doing. They know how to keep people. And like I feel like a lot of these games when like I never really got into playing like Elden Ring and all these things, right? Like it wasn't really my thing, but I could watch someone do some crazy stuff on there and see like the style. Like they keep a style and they keep the play style that people like to see.
Yeah.
They like the challenge and they specifically want people that want a challenge. Like they want to make sure that people you know, have a tough fucking time. And like games like that, dude, I can't tell you how much I want to be able to play those, but I can't because I can't help myself but get too pissed off. Like I get so incredibly mad at video games, it is unfucking real. But like I feel like I don't know if this is me coping, but like I feel like that's a good thing because like at least I give a shit about like getting better at games. But at the same time, goddamn, do I wish I didn't because I played. We're gonna go to a dog shit game here, and it's a dog shit game. Have you the game Getting Over It? Have you seen that?
Never heard of it.
So basically, you're playing this game that some asshole, some motherfucker, one of the world's worst people, one of the worst humans to ever exist, made this game where you are in a pot, right? And you
Okay.
have a fucking hammer, and the guy is like giga jacked, right?
Yeah.
And that's what you use to move around all these obstacles. But the problem is the controls are shit. All right, all you have to do is you have to move the mouse and you have to move it around to grab something. So like you move your mouse like forward up, it's gonna move the thing up like and that's how you move. So if you want to get a launch, you
Yeah.
have to go boom and pull it down. But there's only a certain circle, so if you go out too fast, it'll fucking fling it. If not, it'll go slow. You can move it incrementally. And I played that on my stream, and I was supposed to play it for 2 hours. And because I tried to give new games a go, I regretted it. And I
Hmm.
raged so bad that during my subathon on I think it was day 5 or 6, I almost just smashed my fucking keyboard and turned off my stream. I was so mad. I couldn't help myself. But like I got over it pretty fast after that. But like I couldn't help it. I told half my chat to go fuck themselves. I'm pretty sure I lost like 10 viewers out of like how angry I was. And they could tell they were laughing. They thought it was fucking hilarious. But I was getting mad that they thought it was funny. I was like in my head it was a serious situation. But like going through like the whole playing different games on Steam, I think it's a good thing. Like even for like wanting to have like a good reason to play a game and knowing more about it and what you're gonna sink your time into for a quick like hour, I think it's worth it because like not only are the games either free or they're very cheap or whatever, but like my god, they're fucking funny. Because even though I sucked at it, well, I'm not gonna say I sucked at it. I did pretty okay, but regardless it was still worth it. It was still a lot of fun. So I feel like that whole like playing a game that is not only challenging, but you don't know anything about it. It's completely random to you, and you have to learn it on the go. That shit is 100% like the reason I got into gaming is just the amount of different things you can learn while you're doing it. And like it may sound nerdy, but you gain a lot of like info on like how to play other games in the future, so it gets you a little more locked and loaded for other ones that you may not be prepared for later on. But I fucking love being good at things. I hate being bad at them. I feel like that's as everybody, but like when I say I hate it, I hate it. Like if I'm bad at something, I will be fucking pissed off until I get real good at it. Like so, playing games like that just made me lose my mind. But my god, okay, so talking about Steam, talking about these things, all right, we're not even halfway through the pod, but like I need to get on to this other topic because it's like stirring around in my brain. Um, so the current favorite games, have we talked about that yet? I don't think we have.
Not current, like
So we
not of this time right now.
yeah, talked about our past. I want to get into that one, and then also about like the like nostalgia of like old past things, and like not like our favorite games in the past, but like things about them that we will always remember. I want to skip over the current favorite game thing for now, and we'll come back to it. I rewatched again Ilcams. This is the second time I'm talking about this on the podcast now. I rewatched it again, and I started watching. You remember Pomage?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he
Oh
streams on
yeah.
Kick, and on Twitch, like back and forth.
Okay.
And I was watching him again recently, and holy shit, dude, he's like. And by the way, anyone listening to the podcast, it goes back. We it's just a completely random. Like we were like it's not winging it entirely, but we bounce from subjects pretty easily. It's mainly my fault. My ADHD, takes quite a fucking toll on these things. But yeah, so just I hope you guys are following along, but bear with us. So I went and took a look at his podcast, not podcast, his stream, and it felt kind of like a podcast. He was just sitting there, like there was like a light tune in the background, and it was like a beat that he makes, and he was just talking about like clips and stuff like that. He was just having a conversation. There was literally like 60 people watching. So I was like, damn, this guy's still going. He's still popping off. And he's something that, going back to earlier, we were addicted to Call of Duty, and that's something I played a lot growing up too. And we both did. I feel like I was more heavily into it than we both got into it. I got away from it. You kept playing it in certain ways, and then now I'm like coming back to it a little bit here and there, but it's changed a lot. But his content, I went on his YouTube. He still makes montages.
Wow.
Like he's still doing it. I'm not sure how many he's made, but I took a look at it. I haven't watched the last two of them, but he still makes montages, and that was making me kind of want to do it because, like, just for fun, play a little bit of some private match on BO2 on PC, get a controller, hook it up, and start going for some shots. I thought about doing that, and I think I might actually do it on my secondary shittier channel. I might just fucking upload a random montage at some point. So off of that topic, what was like? Because like I know we've talked about like the montage before. Like, what was your favorite Call of Duty out of all of them, and why?
Favorite Call of Duty and why? I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to say, honestly, it's probably COD 4, and I'm gonna say it's actually pretty much the sound. The sound of the fucking snipers in that game were
hmm
crisp.
I like, dude, the sound and also like the simplicity of it, but the
Yep.
campaign, bro. Oh my god, I feel like the campaign was something that I think I overplayed to the point where like I'm pretty sure I could like at this point if I got back into the game I tried it for a moment I would probably be able to do the whole thing with my fucking eyes closed. I swear to God, but. You remember the specific ghillie? The ones where like in a ghillie suit, and you have to like
Yeah.
go real stealth mode and shit like that. And then also in MW2, the Spec Ops ones, same kind of shit. I think that really got me addicted to it. I like that is also probably the reason I only wanted to ever use snipers in Call of Duty. It's like because of those moments. But uh, like okay, so COD 4, I think COD 4 and MW2, I honestly feel like both of them are like, they're made by the same people, right? And they're back-to-back games, but they feel like the same thing to me. Like almost anyways. Like obviously like multiplayer is different, but like the COD 4 um campaign and then the MW2 campaign and Spec Ops were like the two best things I think Call of Duty's ever made. Like 100%. Like they were like the top tier other than multiplayer. Multiplayer was great, especially BO2, but I feel like that was the one thing that I was like addicted to. So like I at this point in my head, I'm like I want to be able to go back to those days, knowing everything I do now and like having the right equipment and then just rolling with it, making some like fucking team and trying that again. But in COD 4, do you remember the name of the sniper?
No.
I
I
can't.
I can tell you that I remember the intervention from MW2.
Yeah, that gun was fucking goaded. I can't remember the fucking name of the sniper, but like this is random as fuck. One day, I swear to God, one day I want to have one of them just hanging on the fucking wall. Like not a real sniper, but like at least like a life size, like fucking 3D printed fucking copy of it or something like that. It's just something like I was looking at because like we were talking about like the Google Homes and stuff like that and like the Nest,
Yeah.
and my little shopping list is like literally USB hub, a case that has like a little stand for the back of my, the fucking Pixel, and then
Mhm.
looking at shit like that because I don't know, I've been like addicted to it. The thought of gaming and like back in the day and Call of Duty and the reason I got into it and all that stuff. And I was trying to think because like over here on the side, I got like a bottle of scotch, I got like some little figurines, and I got like caffeine stuff, and then some things down here no one can see. But it's like there's a lot of things I want to get into. But like when it comes to the nostalgia, which is another thing, like talking about that is like pretty important here too. Like
Yeah.
I want to have things that like I it remind me of that stuff, and I never really thought about it till we started doing the last episode of the podcast. I was like, shit, I kind of want to get some of those because I've been filling up my fucking wall with shit like that, or like the Hot Ones thing that's like right here behind me, like stream stuff. I don't know where the
Yeah.
fuck that chair came from, but like, and also some random, it's right in a picture, but that's something I want to do. I want to do that real bad. So I need to remind myself of that. But if you find it, let me know because holy shit. I don't know if like randomly you're going to come up on some 3D printed COD 4 Call of Duty fucking, uh, uh, sniper. But if you do, hit me up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Comparing to my degeneracy wall that's slowly building in the corner over there.
you want to give a brief idea for the people watching at home?
All I have to say is that if you're in the Discord, there's a certain chat room that you can go to, and you can roughly assume what's on my wall.
Yeah, it's pretty degenerate, but I mean, so are we. So I mean,
Well,
uh,
I mean, I'm going to Toronto not next week, but the week after and whatnot for that convention again. So the wall's probably gonna double at least.
is that where you got them originally?
Yep, that's where I got them last year because they decided that they were going to start allowing uh, non-safe for work artwork and whatnot during the convention itself, and it's kind of interesting because you'd think that like are some stalls that have them like coded up. They give you like a blurred, rough idea of what it is and whatnot. There's a few of those, but then there's a whole like inner hub where it's just free balling and everything's just outright in the open and shit, which I can appreciate a bit, but not really because like it's not like this is a convention that's strictly for like 18 and up and whatnot.
Oh yeah, true.
It,
There's a lot of
and
young guys
whatnot.
walking around.
Yeah, so it's nice in the fact that you can like rawly see in some of those stalls, but it shouldn't be that way. There used to be like a couple years back that they'd have like it looked kind of weird, but it's like a cloth divider, and you'd actually have to go into this venue to be able to actually see everything that's in there.
Yeah.
But that's just not the case anymore.
Hmm. Well, fuck, dude. I mean, like, I feel like having a like NSFW and like anyone who's like not willing to look at stuff like that, they shouldn't have to see it, right? But like at the
Yeah.
same time, like I don't know. I feel like it has its own place in everything. I like if you're mature enough to be able to look at it and not be like weird about it, like it's a fucking awesome thing to have. It's kind of funny for the most part. Like I'm not gonna lie, I use it for more just funny shit rather than some serious like, oh bro, take a look at this random thing I saw. Like, it's just some weird shit. Like
Yeah.
I wanna also add in the fact that I'm also going to have some interesting stuff in my office soon, and I showed you just before we got this thing going. But if
Yep.
anyone doesn't know, shout out to Dose in the old stream. I'm gonna make sure to briefly mention this. I am not an anime person. I just don't like it. I've tried. I thought I could get into it. I sadly can't. Maybe one day I will. Like it's one of those things I want to be able to, but I need to find that one that just really, you know, draws me in. Because like I don't even like listening to like certain kinds of music or like watching certain kinds of shows, and then randomly one day I just did. So
Yeah.
I was like, fuck it, I'll give it a try. I'm not gonna hate on it, but I don't have anything in here that is anime except like that is like anime related. Except there's this little random thing again. I asked for a baby Yoda, a Grogu, so really, one of those, a little statue on Timu. They sent me this little Dragon Ball figurine. So interesting. But then Dose decided to coming back to the Dose thing. He decided to add something to the throne little application I have, like little thing on the side. If anyone decides they want to, they can send certain things to the stream. It's kind of like a PO box, but it's safer on my end. I don't have to worry about people having my address. Um, and the dude decided to send a suggestion that I chose to accept it. That's my fault. Uh, it is a bent over figurine of some, and you know the name, right?
Oh,
Karumi.
I'd have to Kurumi, yes, from Day to Live.
Okay, got you. So Karumi from Data Live. Squally had to let me know because I had no idea what it was. It was just called like anime woman figurine something, and it had like a whole bunch of words in it, like keywords that they're trying to get you with.
Yeah.
And so he suggested this thing, wearing fishnets, bent over with bunny ears and all this shit. And I'm like, what? What the fuck? So I saw it and I was like, I need to think about this for a second. But I was streaming at the same time, so it's like, it's kind of funny. I was like, fuck it, why not? I'll accept it. I'm like, there's a chance he sends it, but there's also he probably won't because no one's used it at this point other than the team behind Throne. They sent me something on it when I first signed up.
Yeah.
So they, you know, all everyone in the chat was like, yeah, accept it, you know, because like they knew something weird was happening. They haven't seen it yet, and then he sends it right after. I accept it. Boom. He pays the money. He sends it. So now en route to me is a about yay big, about yay tall figurine of this sexy Asian statue, and I think that's what it's called pretty well. So I was like, well, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but now I own that. So I don't know where to put it. So if you guys see in the podcast next time, the visual side, that there's something sitting here that may look a little out of place, that's what it's gonna be. So that was fucking funny. Oh my god, it's something that like I want to have more stuff in the room, and I want to be able to let like yeah, I think I mentioned you. Like, I want to let people from my stream and people that watch the content to I want to let them have a say of what's behind me, whether it is serious or not. Like I'm gonna be honest, I have a lot of random shit here. I never know what to put in. There's a Game of Thrones poster right here that is out of view because originally it was tilted this way. That wall was behind me. Um, but now I opened it out, so I got to move stuff around, and I want to make sure
Yeah.
there's cool stuff back behind me. But you have your wall with your three images on the wall, like three different posters or whatever they are.
There's four, and there's one that I've been meaning to put up, but I still need to buy some things off of Amazon to do that.
There was three last time I saw, so I feel like you've added to the collection, or maybe it was like out of the frame of the picture I saw or something like that. But
No, it
uh,
was out of the frame.
got you. Okay. And then I remember like certain things you can't show on the camera. But
Yeah.
this thing, it's like I'm honestly I'm wondering. What do you think? You think that's against TOS? I don't think it is. Like the one that I have coming.
Oh, no, I wouldn't say so. I don't think that's too far, considering that people are allowed to be in their swimsuits and whatnot. I
True.
don't think that's pushing it too far.
True. Honestly, I mean, like, fuck it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna put it up on the thing. I hope it doesn't fucking fall off because I'm not gonna lie. This thing is the wobbliest piece of shit. Like, okay, this sounds rude. Stephanie got this for me. so, so my girlfriend got this for me. It's just it is wobbly because this right here where this slot is, normally I have it open. I just pin it out a little bit. I open the window because otherwise it'll flail around and like the wind tunnel will then
Yeah.
suction it to the screen and then flick it out and randomly just beam the shit out of stuff, and it's annoying as fuck. So I have it closed, pinned, all that stuff, so it's out of the way. But if I
Yeah.
have that open and I want air in here, this bottle, this heavy bottle, it's a thick glass bottle of scotch, the Chivas. Uh, it literally just about fell off the fucking thing. It was pushed almost completely off the top of it, so I don't trust it. So that's why if anyone hasn't looked closely enough, for the visual guys out there, right here, I'm pointing towards my Deadpool statue. He lost an arm and part of his neck, and he's stuck tilting because he's broken because he fell off the fucking thing. So yeah, I think interesting. I'm not sure like where I went with all this conversation, but I needed to mention all that. Now, another thing. When are you ordering the stuff for your desk?
It's not going to be for a bit. With me having to go to Toronto and whatnot, I'm going to be spending quite a bit while I'm down there. So
True.
because we're down there for um about 3.5 days technically. I guess technically four. We leave Thursday and whatnot, and we leave. mid Sunday, whatnot. So it's not too bad. They see my purchasing while I'm down there is based around actual katana swords from different shows and what have you. There's actually a specific few vendors that I go to because they actually hand make them themselves rather than producing them off of a line. I go there for swords. I go there for artwork, obviously, and I also go there recently for figures as well because I bought one last year and it's fairly sized lad and whatnot from One Piece, and yeah, I think I'm gonna be getting another. The reason why I didn't end up getting a few more, there were two that I was looking at, and they were kind of like they were kind of two in the same type of like they go together but they're separate. One of them I think was like I think in the realm of like 350 and the other one was in the more of the realm of 450 for it.
Hmm.
Surprisingly enough, the 450 was the one that I was most looking at, but I wanted to get them as a pair if I was going to get them at all. I happened to wait too long, didn't end up getting either of them, but they both were fairly big models. But all in all, I gonna end up spending quite a bit of money while I'm down there, especially with hotel room,
Oh yeah.
the food and all of that. So it's not going to be much purchasing for me after there.
Yeah, I feel you. Oh, it's like because when you do it, I do want to come over and help you make it because I first off I haven't seen your dog. I have never met the little fella. And I haven't seen the cat in a while. And on top of that, I like putting stuff like that together. So I'm gonna fucking help you do that whenever you do it. But the setup specifically,
Yeah.
fuck you first off because you wanting to upgrade yours instantly triggered my shitty I need to spend money on my setup brain. So I'm planning on upgrading my setup again. uh this is probably I was like the word iteration. This fucking use a bigger larger word here instead of like this is a pretty pog. So setup Voxy setup iteration number 503. Older one is, you know, Stephanie's now. That's my older second, third version. So now I want to do it again, but I want to get a fucking standing desk. That is something I
Mm.
am like locked in on. Like I need to do it because with the amount I fidget, and I think you've probably, you might have noticed I like to fidget a lot, right? And I can't stop
Just a little
moving.
bit.
Just a little bit. I'm like freaking out right now, and I'm sitting still. So I'm like consistently like I'm sitting in my chair about 17 different ways and I want to move around. I want to stand up. That's
Yeah.
what I want to do. I can't though because if I do, you'll see my nipples and that's about it. So it's just kind of a pain. So I want to do that pretty bad, but other than getting like, different things for the walls and the little statues and whatnot, and there's some like, other art and the gun I want to get like the 3D printed version of it, but I really do want to upgrade that in my setup. And if you haven't already thought about doing it, what are the chances you will ever do that?
Of getting what, like a 3D printed gun for the back wall?
Oh no, the desk, like the one you can sit and stand, like you have like an electric like dual motor
Oh,
desk that you can raise or lower because that is a game changer. I want to do it so fucking bad.
I'm not a fan, to be honest with you. I'd prefer to be sitting.
You like the leisureness? Is
Yeah,
that a fucking word? Leisureness?
leisure.
It's a thing now. No, it is now. So yeah, like having like a chair to sit down on and do that. I think like for me, the biggest problem is because I'm streaming all the time. It's because I
Yeah,
am sitting at a desk all the time, and I think you and I have always been into moving around, standing, fucking being physically active.
yeah.
Whether it be holy shit, we haven't even talked at all one time. We'll do this next time. We'll talk about like our adventures and stuff like that. But like the longboarding and such, like longboarding,
Mm.
the basketball, all that shit, like that was everything. That was like a daily routine. And now I'm just flatlining, just sit down all day. And it's a weird feeling. Even after a couple of years of doing it, well, a year and a half of doing it regularly, it's
Yeah.
super odd to me because I've only ever worked on my feet. I've only ever, spent my whole day on my feet doing stuff like that. And it's pretty tough to like just sit still and not move with what I got going on. So I can't do it. But like, if anyone listening has any idea of like the best kinds of or like the highest rated, best quality dual motor sit and stand desks, preferably in Canada or in the US that can ship to Canada, whatever. Let us know. Tweet it at us. Tweet at us at LiquidPod if you guys want to do that on Twitter. It'd be huge. I'd appreciate it. Or in the Discord too. Which, by the way, all the socials should be in the description if YouTube allows it. If you're on YouTube, but they won't accept my verification, so we have to wait like 30 days or something. So by like the next pod, we should have it. But yeah, that's something I want to do. So yeah, setups and upgrades and all that fun stuff. Like that's something I could probably talk about for like literally hours because I'm obsessed. Uh, and actually, just so we get like a little bit more of that out of our systems here, what kind of PC you rocking? Just and like what kind of gadgets do you got going on? Just for anyone watching at home.
Well, in PC wise, I'm running a kind of a custom, not really custom built. It was just like a nice abomination of different
Well, it's
fucking
custom
parts and
built
whatnot. It wasn't like a pre-made thing.
because you did order the parts separately and then you brought it somewhere to be built specifically.
Yeah, I didn't want to build it here for the fact that I have a lot of carpet on my fucking floor and whatnot, and I could have done it on the living room where there's tile on the floor, but just not really worth the risk, especially when you just got everything in. You're more likely to just lose your shit if you end up burning it out yourself. So I'd rather have a facility do it that actually has a room for it specifically.
For sure.
So yeah, I went and got that done. It's not too bad. It works really well and whatnot. There's easy modifications that I could do, like easy improvements that I could do. Like I'm running a 3060 Ti
Hmm.
and a Ryzen 7. I've been debating on getting a Ryzen 9 for a little while, but been busy with other shit and whatnot. I started recently getting Google products and whatnot and doing a lot of Google shit.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, not too much. My probably my favorite thing from my setup now is probably my keyboard, to be honest.
Yeah, you got wait. So what keyboard do you have right now? Because I know you got something that's like I don't know if it's Ducky or Glorious or something like one of those two.
I I do have a Ducky
Oh
and
wait, no,
whatnot. It's actually put away
you have the Corsair
at the
now, right?
moment. Yeah, I have a Corsair K100,
Hmm.
and it's got a lot on it. Like it's an over 100% keyboard, and for me, I do enjoy the 60%, but when I'm trying to like do multiple things at the same time, which I generally am, it's just a real fucking hassle for me to try to redo keybinds and all that crap on a 60%. My plan is that if when I get a bigger desk, I'm gonna have both of the keyboards running at the same time and switch between the two when I actually need to. But no, the K100 is pretty nice. It's got six slots on the side to route however the hell I please. It has its own dial that's on the top left corner that'll switch me between screens. You can have it zoom, half a million different other things, just wherever the hell you really need it to do. So it's another macro key basically. And when going from a 60 to 100%, I really missed the number keypad
Hmm.
on the fucking right side because
It's
I
it's so
hate trying
useful.
to do the fucking upper first line, trying to do anything to do with numbers. It's just a big pain in the ass. I prefer it all to be one spot. I know how to move my hands like without actually checking which numbers I'm fucking pressing
Hmm.
and whatnot for stuff like that, rather than having the row where I have to double check. Okay, I'm not actually pressing any fucking letters here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that or the F keys and stuff like that too. Like I feel like the 60% keyboard is something that I also like. I think you and I both got Ducky keyboards pretty well at the same
Yeah.
time. And like the one that I had, Ducky SF RGB whatever. I'm pretty sure something like that.
Yeah.
I loved it. I thought it was so sick. But the problem is it's tiny. So you try to like when you're coming to gaming, you have so many different macro keys or like keybinds for certain things, and like you run out so fast.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's, and also like the numpad and like the arrow keys and all these other things. So then I moved on to a 65% keyboard, and I was like, I love a 65% keyboard because it has the arrow keys, and I use
Yeah.
those as a macro keys for everything. Like even the game I'm playing right now, like I'll use one for like a waypoint. I use one for like warp to a certain area. I use another one to warp somewhere else to another waypoint, and then another one for opening a specific inventory. This stuff real fast, right? Because when I'm streaming
Yeah.
and I really want to get something open real fast for a clip, for a video or something, even boom, you press a button, it's there. But then the 65%, I was like, ah, you know what? I missed the function keys. I missed like the F1 through 12. And I was like, fuck, I'd like those too. So now I have a 75% keyboard because I also have the dial and the knob at the top right. I got the print, I got the home, delete, page up, down, arrow keys, all of it, right? Like it's all there.
Yeah.
And now, surprise, surprise, I'm like, I missed the numpad. So I have to break out an old keyboard or something. But I'm thinking at this point, Glorious, like, because I'm affiliate with them. If anyone wants to check out their products, I'll leave my affiliate link in the description if I remember to. Um, but I am affiliated with them. They sent me this big old care package, and I think I told you about this, and I'm pretty sure you've seen the keyboard, right? And
Yeah.
all the stuff, and it's so beautiful. It's a custom build. It's the GMMK Pro. Everything you got the coiled, cable there. I can't remember what it's called specifically, but it's got like aviator. There we go, the coiled aviator
Mm.
cable, and all these other things about it. And I love it, but they have like it looks too good to want to do something else. I want to keep it
Yeah.
exactly how it is, but they do have a numpad that you can get on the side, and it looks just as good. And it also has the same lighting, has the same everything that you can get the same plates for it, the same buttons, the same everything. And I have extra switches, I have extra keycaps for it for the numpad and all that. So I'm thinking soon. Funny enough, I'm thinking about buying that because I do want to have that on the side, but I like everything else that's here. And instead of buying a whole new keyboard, I want to buy that. Um, but I don't think I've told you this. But when it comes to gaming and keypads and all that stuff, this is fucking hilarious. So I think you'll find this pretty interesting. I don't know if you find you got to give me your honest opinion on how fucking degenerate this is. So in the game I'm playing, because this is all about gaming. This is the most gamer move I think I will and probably will ever make. It's just probably the worst low of my life. So I'm playing this game, and when you join in and say like what's good or like how has something about like a little one liner about like what's up, you see that I'm farming in this game, right?
Okay.
There's so much farming you got to do. This is so fucking sad. So there's another guy who also does this. All right, this isn't my first idea. All right, I got it off chat who told me that someone else was doing it. They have a lot of farming. You got to do a lot of it, and the problem is, it honestly, if you're just you have to hold your hand on a certain part of your keyboard. You have to swap between certain buttons over and over and over again. It honestly, you get bored of it if you're not moving around. If you're playing a game that
Yeah.
has a grindy aspect to it, you have nothing else you can do but sit there and just survive if possible.
Yeah.
And it genuinely just gets depressing. And you want to do stuff, you want to move around, you want to have some other options. So what I want to do is I'll start with this so it doesn't start, too degenerate. I want to get a VM, which is a virtual machine, so I can play another game whilst I'm playing that game to grind it. But the problem is now I need to have my hand on two keyboards. So
Mm.
the answer, I'm getting a keypad for my feet. I'm getting a keypad for my fucking toes. So I can grind two games at once. And that's because I wouldn't do it if it wasn't so severely fucking lame. The game I'm playing on the hard mode of it. I'm playing on the Iron Man of it. And the Iron Man of this game is an MMORPG. It's Hypixel Skyblock. You can look it up if you want to. So for anyone at home, it is basically a grindy game. You're grinding skills, you're grinding levels, you're grinding collections for items that are upgrading your stats, so on. And just like any other game similar to it, it's just on a server, right? So you got to grind this for a long amount of time. And the problem is there is a certain thing they added recently, and if you want to get it, you're going to spend at least 100 hours grinding a specific crop of a specific crop that they randomly roll, which could be the best or the worst of all of them. You have to just hope for the best. And I have to grind it by hand, whereas other people could just go and buy it. Because everything I do it is the grindy version. You cannot trade with players. You cannot buy from people. You cannot buy from an auction. You can't do any of these. Everything is 100% you. by yourself, bare bones. And I just like the challenge to it. It's way more fucking fun. It feels like the game's played the right way, even though I've played both and I've enjoyed both. But so hypothetically, this guy shows up after you get a certain level, and I'm almost there. I'm 55% of the way through that level in 2 days, so I'm getting there very soon. I'm building
Okay.
a farm that is going to take me 5 hours to make ish, that I can use two keys specifically so I can get this keypad so I can put it down at my feet and I can play that game with my fucking toes while I play a different game because of how fucking lame it is. But this is the game I play on a regular basis. And I'm not the first person to do this. There's at least one other person I know of doing this. But
Okay.
I think everyone just comes to the same conclusion. What's the easiest way I can get out of playing this while also playing this? You know what I mean? Like I need to,
Yeah.
how can I save myself? That's the answer. So all of that just so I can play with my feet because eventually this dude's gonna show up and be like, I need X amount of this, so you can get, and I shit you not, a piece of glass that changes colors, just to say you have it. That's it.
Jesus Christ.
So, so it's not the coolest thing. I'm not gonna use it as a talking point with the girlfriend's family next time I go up there in their fucking couple $1 million house. But it's definitely something I can low key be a little depressed that I did. So it's gonna be an achievement for me, right?
Yeah.
Um, and fuck it, if I'm playing the game on a regular basis for stream, I may as well get some sort of weird content out of it. But now with all this, I want to specifically just have an easy way to get out of playing the game while still playing it. So I don't know. I don't even know what the fuck I'm gonna play. I have no idea what I'm gonna play on the side. I honestly have no clue because I like tunnel vision one game specifically, and that's it. That's like the only way I can play a game. I have to tunnel vision it and forget everything else exists. So like I play one game, I stream one game, I make videos on one game, and then when I get bored of that game, I move on to an entirely different game forever.
Yeah.
It's just seemingly. But what are the games you think are good to play like that? Like if you're at the same time playing one game with your fucking toes, normal scenario, right? Uh, and you have to play another game on the side. What other game would you pick? Because I don't know.
Depends which one. I'm assuming the one that you're playing with your feet is kind of your like not your like full attention game, like not your like FPS
Yeah, yeah. So
versus game
the
and
main the
whatnot.
main important part of it is I have to find another game to play
Yeah.
while I'm doing this, literally holding two keys down, literally just holding which would be hypothetically forward and spacebar
Yeah.
technically, or break. So move forward and break, so I can like fucking bash the literally farming crops.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing with my big toe and my fucking other toe, right? I'm holding them on the keypad. This is the scenario. So I also have to keep it open on the left side on my monitor that is vertical there. I'm gonna have it open in the middle, and you have to pay attention to it because if someone macro checks you, which is a problem in these games where you're playing but not actually playing, like you're not actually there, it
Yeah.
will macro check you randomly and it'll fuck you up, or it'll bring you somewhere and put you in this bedrock box where the admins will make sure you're not cheating. So if you don't answer to them, if you don't react, they'll ban you because you're not playing the game properly. You're cheating. You're literally using like some sort of thing. It's running some code to like literally make you do certain things at certain times, and you're cheating to get ahead in the game. Most people use it to IRL trade, sell the coins for real money because people are people will always try to get ahead in the game, right? That's just always how it
Yeah.
is. So that's what it's for. So I have to make sure I pay attention to and don't let myself get banned while doing this because it's not against the rules as long as I pay attention. So on the other monitor, the game that I'm trying to find out what game it'll be, but I have to find a game that I can play, that I can put time into and enjoy, but it can't take my focus away the other game too much. So like Valorant off the table, Apex off the table, Call of Duty off the table. What other games would you in that scenario play? You're gonna give me an answer, and I'm probably gonna go with it.
I think Voxy should play some fucking Pokemon.
Fuck it, playing some Pokemon, dude. Playing some motherfucking Pokemon Gold or whatever it was. He said, well, red or pink or rainbow color. I'll play one of them, and then I'll become a professional at it. And then at that point, I'll start speed running. There you go.
There's some people popular for playing different versions of Pokemon and whatnot that people have created online. And one of the most popular ones that I've seen as of late are them actually finding Pokemon in the wild that are fusions of two together and whatnot, which I think you'd find pretty interesting.
Wait, so like so basically it's like a custom version. I'm putting my leg up on my desk. So it's like someone made their own version of Pokemon, but they added in some changes to it, like moderations and like so modifications and configurations where they can merge Pokemon together and like they're on a hunt for those certain ones and trying to get those
Yeah.
certain like rare,
Yeah.
collect them or something like that. Is that like a mainstream type game or is that just something online that's like random as fuck?
It's just like a general thing. I've never looked too much into it. I know I've seen things pop up on my YouTube about like I'm already well aware of like all the entitlements for Pokemon series and shit like that. So they've posted one like let's just say something like Pokemon Neon or some shit like that, and they'll post about this fucking thing and say, "Oh, well, it's up and coming," and blah blah blah. So I think it's just the genre of itself is a popular thing.
Gotcha. I mean, like, I'm down for anything that's new and different because, like, that's something that just playing random shit, playing stuff that even that I thought I'd never enjoy, I play them
Yeah.
and then I find some form of love for them. Like, one of the most random choices of my life. I never in my life had any idea what it was, never heard of it before, but I just saw it. I was like, looks interesting. I saw a guy playing it in a video, and I was like, fuck it. I went and just started playing it. Fuck. Why am I okay? Literally just forgot what it's called. But it's like Sam something or like Serious Sam.
Serious Sam, yes, I've heard of that.
Yeah, so it's like real old like it's an FPS, but it's like this arcade style. Have you actually like do you remember anything of it? Have you seen like the like any
Nah,
sort of content on it?
no, I haven't. This is the first time in a long time I've heard of it.
Okay, got you. So I have Serious Sam, I think two, on Steam. I need to open it up after this podcast. Are you busy after this podcast? Are you doing something?
Not particularly.
Okay, I'm gonna see if I have it installed. I will show you what it is, or I'll show you a video. But long story short, like it is just as random can be, and that's the whole point of it. Serious Sam is the least serious game. The voice in it is scuffed. The alien type weird creature things you're killing are scuffed. It's got like a original Doom type vibe to it.
Okay.
And it's got like these really shitty looking crappy animations of like these weird aliens or like could be like a boar that is massive or a fucking full on like transformer or
Yeah.
like a whole bunch of random stuff like a pterodactyl, little bombs that'll like have legs and shit, like just the most random arcade style game ever. But
Yeah.
it's like it has the vibe in my opinion of like playing like on an old arcade machine, like
Okay.
just something like that. It has that same vibe to it where it's like it's not serious, it's not super hard, but it is damn funny. And also has the aspect of like you're literally kicking the shit out of things. You're killing them. You're getting the FPS as well. You're getting all that. Like you're getting some fun, but it's also kind of like not always, but it sort of feels like a puzzle.
Okay.
Um, like in some ways, I may be remembering it a little differently because like the original ones were a long time ago. But I randomly played it with like this guy that I used to have a place with, like an old roommate, the weird one.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the weird guy. Yeah, so the one that played all the games. Um, People are in the fucking listening to be like the weird one. Who? Hopefully he never hears it. But anyway, so he played this game a lot, and I randomly saw it, and I was like, you know what? This looks fucking awful. I need to try it, and I did, and it was a lot of fun. So maybe that's what I play. Maybe that is, but I do want to. I literally am going to try to play that Pokemon. I'm gonna look it up and I'm gonna try to play it because I don't know. I want to play some new shit. I want to play some different stuff. And if I'm playing another game at the same time, I'm focusing on that. I'm focusing on chat. I need it to be something like kind of like a leisure game
Yeah,
more so.
Pokemon games are very, very casual type games.
Yeah, so I'd like to play something like that. I was thinking
Yeah.
at first I was just gonna have like I was gonna link my phone up so I could just play a game and have it vertically on the side.
Yeah.
and like play something like that. But then I realized that the connection in here, which is another thing I gotta do too. Another thing I gotta buy. The connection in here is terrible for the Wi-Fi. It's absolutely
Mm.
horrible. It's because the walls are so fucking thick in this like place or whatever, and my Wi-Fi, it's on the other side. Like the modem is on the other side of the apartment, and
Yeah.
it has to come through like it has to like bounce around in multiple different walls, openings, and like different things, and like the fucking windows are always open, and like just I don't know if like for some reason at this point I believe that if you have a fucking window open, your Wi-Fi shits the bed. It's just like shit. Just I
It
don't know
just goes
why.
out the window.
Yeah, the window open, it escapes. It's like hot air. It travels up, but this one travels left. So I don't fucking know. It's like, can you turn the fucking fan off? It's blowing my Wi-Fi to the other side of the room. But like that's how it feels because for some reason, if I have it going, I'm chilling, but then it's a hot day.
Yeah.
Specifically, if it's a hot day, I have the fucking door open out there, and I have this window open. Wi-Fi doesn't exist in here. Close the windows, and it does. Someone understand that? Please let me know. I don't fucking get it, but it makes me sound so fucking like stupid. Maybe it's like a conspiracy theorist or
Right
something
out
like
the
that. Like,
window.
bro, the fucking my fan's blowing my Wi-Fi to the left and bouncing off the fucking wall out the window. It's fucking off. My Wi-Fi straight up just dipped. But
You ever thought about getting Wi-Fi boosters?
that's literally what I was like rolling into. I need to buy a Wi-Fi booster, like something, because like on top of the PC, I have like a specific little thing to like boost the Wi-Fi in case my cord ever gets fucking yoinked,
Yeah.
because it travels along the entire apartment. Um, and that thing is pretty awesome. It gives you a solid connection because it specifically boosts the connection of your Wi-Fi. Like it sits on top at the antennas, it helps, right? Instead of just having something that's plugged into the back of the back of the computer with a very small little what is it called? You probably get what I'm talking about. Like so it needs to be able to pick up the connection from somewhere, and if that point isn't in an open space, it's gonna
Yeah.
if it's hidden behind something with like you get what I'm saying. It needs to be bouncing or like off the walls and shit like that. Wi-Fi's a little bitch again, blows with the wind, right? So I need to get myself a booster. But do you have any in your apartment or no? Because
No. So for first of all, for me, I don't use corded connections at all. Like at
what
all
the
at
fuck is
all.
wrong with you?
I've had this the funny part is that my Wi-Fi is almost perfectly fine. I've
We have the
never
same
had.
fucking goddamn Wi-Fi
Yep,
then.
and
But
I
the problem
still
is
don't
the
have any
apartment.
issues.
I think it's the fucking apartment, like specifically the walls. And my understanding, my guess, what I know about this place is these fucking walls, concrete, bro. Fucking concrete. Like it's just it's dog
Yeah.
shit. Like if it was just drywall, like a little thin drywall, whatever, and it was like one room, is what it is. But
Yeah.
it's directly this way from me, way on the other side of the apartment. We got keeping this in mind, right? It's sitting here in the corner. The TV is in front of it, right? And then
Yeah.
past that is a wall, and then there's another wall, and then there's a little corridor, and then there's another wall, another room, and then there's a bathroom. There's another wall, and then there's in here, and it's also in the corner around another corner of this wall. In the corner in general. So like if Stephanie's sitting over here, she has her PC that's directly down the hallway from it. She gets
Yep.
an okay connection. Even on the phone, it's okay. It's not the best. But my phone, if I'm holding over here, this phone number two. Anyways, if I'm holding it over here, dog shit. But if I hold it right here, like over to the side, it's not too bad. It's because of the hallway. The fucking walls ruin the connection. That's my fucking $1 million idea. There is get a booster. So I'm gonna try that. But I don't know if anyone. I don't know anyone who actually uses them. Minus Nick, and I don't know if you know
Yeah.
his scenario out there with the internet.
Yeah.
It's pretty bougie. Anyone who
See.
doesn't know, real quick before I don't want to cut you off too much, but
Yeah.
he has Wi-Fi he steals from the neighbors, which which is a library. They know and they don't give a fuck because they live out in the middle of nowhere. And he uses Wi-Fi boosters to get a better connection, and it works, but it takes him 2 weeks to download a game. Anyways, yeah, I'll let you go now. I fucking try not to cut
See,
you off.
I don't. I don't have a problem with my internet to the extent that I've caught mine all the way down the road completely. Like all the way to that stop sign at the end of my road, I've caught my internet.
I think I
That's
can chalk
why,
it up to my building.
yeah, I think I know there's a some type of material and whatnot. Not like sorry, not material. Like a type of a metal and whatnot that's known to screw around with Wi-Fi. Your building probably just has a really shitload of it.
It's a very large, very thick walls, very old concrete brick, all this stuff. Like it's most likely what's in the walls that are just like fuck with it. And
Yeah.
someone, I guarantee you, there's one person that's listening and is just sitting in their head, just like, what the fucking stupid conversation. Like they probably understand, but like in my head, it's like all I gotta do is get a fucking booster. But also while I'm doing the podcast, I keep the door closed because I don't want the fucking I don't want the noise leaking from like the TV out there, what Stephanie's doing, and like
Yeah.
holy fuck. And I also like having the just like nice confined area so I can just do my thing and not have to be too loud. But yeah, the first time having a beer on the podcast, like I drink beer regularly, like once every week or two or whatever. Like it's one of my go-to drinks. But on the podcast, I haven't done it yet, and this is exactly why. Fucking burping like a motherfucker. I'm having my second one, by the way. So cheers to the listeners and to the fella
Yeehaw.
there. Wait, so you're having? Okay, you almost finished your drink. I was gonna say I don't think I've seen you drink it more than twice.
Oh,
All right, we are at 1 hour and 11 minutes. That's not too bad. I
that's
think
not too bad.
did we discuss everything we were looking at? Because I know we had ideas and I lost them entirely. Um,
Oh, new and upcoming games.
I just read that too. Yeah. So I am not gonna cap. Not a fucking clue.
He's got no idea.
I got no fucking clue. I'm
He's in a
completely
bubble.
out of the loop. I stream and then I forget what everything is. Uh, which I know more about Dream's weird little butt plug looking plushy thing than I do about upcoming games, just because of Twitter. So I'm gonna need help with this. So you tell me, what kind of games are coming up that I should be excited for? Sell me.
So I'm not sure if this will be this is definitely a discussion and whatnot.
That is a
So
conversation.
there is a game that is coming out. I believe it's slated for June at the earliest.
W.
That is the newest Diablo. Diablo 4, I believe, is what they're up to. And from what I've just gathered earlier today from watching a couple different videos, this, like everything else now, has a fucking battle pass to it.
Oh my god.
A Diablo game has a battle pass to it. Now, I'm not totally opposed to it because Destiny 2 took up the battle pass theme as well. Although Destiny 2 though Destiny as an entirety for a game has a story system that is always growing with every season and within every parts of every season. So for them to have a battle pass is not out of the ordinary, and I wouldn't dismiss it at all. I think it's actually a smart move on their part because it's already constantly evolving. Diablo, though, if I remember correctly, Diablo was still doing like a DLC type game where it would add in like I think the last one, Diablo 3 was I think it was something Reaper or whatnot, Reaper of Souls or some shit like that. Either way, they were on the DLC train, but now it seems that they've switched to doing their seasonal type shit, which I'm not sure where I stand on that. It's something that I'm just gonna have to find out for myself. But seeing the trailers for the game itself, I think that it looks pretty good. But until I see like some early release gameplay type deal, I'm still not completely sold on it because again, games nowadays are very expensive.
Yeah, that's probably like and I always felt like a real cheap individual, but like I value my own money and what I have, and I don't want to just throw it away on something that I'll instantly regret because I've done that enough times.
Yeah.
And I like to keep a pretty fucking level head on like should I buy this? Like am I gonna actually like it? And I don't even think I'd pay for Diablo anymore because I kind of liked, like I'm not gonna lie, I think it was Diablo 3.
Hmm.
I liked it a lot. I played it a good bit for a while, but I got bored of it relatively fast, and that's how I am with most games. Most games I get bored really, really quick. Like Valorant, to be honest with you, I'd be surprised if I kept playing it for more than a couple months. It's kind of like
Oh, yeah.
Apex, like it just falls off randomly for me, but it's because I focus on one game. I'm like, tunnel vision, right? Like I said before,
Yeah.
it's just how I am. But like a battle pass for a game like that, like I like thinking about it like as we're sitting here, like it's honestly not a bad idea, but only for a very for like the core audience that are willing to play it. But like, didn't they just come out with a new game, or was that was mobile, right?
That was mobile, and that game, from what I understood, took off quite a bit. However,
They fucked that up.
mobile games itself has a strong, very very strong side of monetization
Yep.
and transactions. That game was actually the worst for it because, from what I understand, I didn't play it because I'm not one for mobile games. I don't give a shit. I don't
Yeah.
even play fucking Bejeweled on my phone anymore.
I played
Um,
ROK. That shit's fire.
yeah. But from what I gather was that the max, whether it's legendary, epic, or whatever the fuck tier it is, the max gear or the max tier for the gear, you could not obtain, at least not a full set of it and whatnot, unless you spent money on transactions, which I'm not even sure if it's if you're buying like solely like it's this quality, I'm buying that, or if it's a loot box system where good fucking luck and have at her.
Um, like I know a little bit about what I heard, right? I heard a lot about this,
Yeah.
because of chat, because I always state a pretty strong opinion on things when I'm streaming, and I find it makes a lot of fun conversations, and I really get to like just have some interesting reactions. But I always give like my honest thoughts, or like at least a joke, and then I bring it back to my honest thoughts. But on Diablo, it was a great game. And then mobile games, they exist solely. I don't care if this sounds a little controversial. They exist solely to take your money. They like microtransactions are literally what they're made for. They're not made for content. They are made for microtransactions. That is 100% their end focus always. Whereas you pay for a game on PC, you usually pay for it, and they will rarely hit you with them. On a
Yeah.
good game, they will rarely even fucking ask you for anything. They'll have a store, but it's away. It's like out to the side, right? Because they're real, and I'm sorry if this is fucked up. They're real gamers. Like they are there for the game. They're there to enjoy themselves. They want to play the game. They will keep playing the game. But mobile people, they're downloading a game pretty well every couple weeks. They're playing something new all the time. They're jumping, jumping, jumping. They're either going to get smacked with ads or microtransactions all around the fucking world. Like that's just how it is. So when I'm
Mhm.
playing even ROK, again, microtransactions are pretty heavy. And even though I had an ad for the game, and I do love it, I think it's great. Even though I was fucking sponsored by them for the time when I started playing it, I will still be dead ass honest with people, and they'll be like, "Oh, is the game really good?" No, it's great until this point where I'm at. It's impossible to continue. Like it's relatively impossible to beat other players because you're a free to play player. They are not, and you can't beat them. And Diablo was the main conversation that followed me talking about all this stuff because people were mentioning, and this is an estimate. I'm not sure exactly what the number is. This is a guess from somebody in my chat. They said 10,000 they had to spend, but then instantly after that, someone hit me with some thing where they were showing that's not the case at all. 10,000 would be fucking insane. It's 200 plus thousand
Oh yeah.
to then get
Yeah.
stuff in a video game. I'm like, bro, it is a fucking mobile game. It is a mobile game of Diablo. It is not a game that has much going on. Diablo is a simple game at its core. It really is. You're like games like that where you're just looking over somebody and you're just moving around rooms. It's really not that insane. You're literally moving through room to room. It's fun. They make it very very unique and enjoyable, and it's fun at its core. It is a good game. But when you get into like paying like usually the bundles are like $100+ at a certain point. Like even the game I play on my phone, I'll randomly upgrade a building instantly. I'll get an offer saying, "Oh, dude, you want to spend $250 on this bundle that you can get, for all these little mini things that'll help you very, very short periods of time, like maybe 2 hours worth." I'm like, no, fuck that. But on Diablo, again, I'm not sure if it's a loot box system or if it's just you're buying a set of something as a like to outfit your guy a little stronger, which you need to buy another one and fuse, or I have no idea because I know you can like you can construct things, but like I really am not sure. But I heard it was 200,000, 250,000, and people were not maxed. And the problem is that's like, that's how you get ahead in the game. Like on a mobile game, that's literally how you exist. If you
Yeah.
don't pay money, you're going to be left in the dust. And you're going to continuously
Now,
be playing early game shit, and that's all.
now to be the other face of the coin here, I've talked quite a bit with a lad at work and whatnot, Indian lad.
Yep.
From his point of view, we talked about this before while I was working a night shift. He lets me know that for mobile games, in terms of quote unquote third world countries like India itself and whatnot, where
Well, there is
uh
entirely different in my opinion.
yeah,
Yeah, because they're
that
like that's their
for
main thing.
yeah, for them where they don't have the type of like resources in our case where we can it wouldn't be too hard for us to get like a PC and whatnot, even a shit quality one. It wouldn't be too hard for them. It's a lot different.
Yeah.
So mobile games are what they end up turning to, and it's a much bigger bigger thing over in countries like that, which for things like Apex, PUBG, I believe Call of Duty did something as well with it, where they made mobile games for them to play on. That's a good thing in terms
For
of
sure.
games like that, where you don't actually need transactions to play the game and enjoy and quote unquote get ahead.
Yeah.
Mind you, still a little disappointing that Apex had pulled their mobile game off and
Yeah.
discontinued that.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
But I mean, I understand the point of view of why they pulled it in the first place, because they're quite more turning to the profits themselves. Which obviously it must not have made enough profit for them to want to continue the project itself. But
Yeah.
yeah, but just in terms of mobile games, the worst ones in my opinion are gotcha games, if you're aware of what those are.
I'm gonna take a guess here because there's certain games that I played on my phone that I can recognize being as like the most fucking sinful things on the fucking planet. You're talking about games that are like, um, because I have no idea. I'm just guessing. Like, things like from like TV shows and stuff like that, where like they're made to be like, oh, you pay to get this thing upgraded. You fucking pay to upgrade this thing, and like just random little mini games that like pop up all over the place for like little trends and stuff like that, or no?
Not not really. Gotcha games are basically the whole concept is based around like loot box systems and whatnot. So, uh, I don't remember if it's still a thing now, but there were a lot of older games like 10 years ago where they're classified as gotcha games, and they're like turn-based games almost and whatnot, and you could roll for like a box and whatnot, and you'd get this character, and this character for whatever stars amount equal to their rarity and shit like that.
Yeah.
That's like the core basis of it. Well, it's such a popular thing now and whatnot, more along the lines of games based solely off of different animes, or then in themselves made their own animated characters and whatnot, like fuck, I don't really play gotcha games and whatnot, so I can't really name off a few, but
Yeah, honestly, I can't even fucking tell you
that's
what time I've seen this.
these guys, like you it's the same type of concept with, you'd get like, oh, here's your daily ways of getting boxes and shit like that, and then it quickly flips into the microtransactions and whatnot, which are quite deadly in a game where it very much matters of what characters you have and what their rarities are and whatnot. So it's a deadlock.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I feel like I understand now. So anything that really has like loot boxes where you can pay to get certain keys to certain
Yeah.
things where you can buy and you can get upgrade, with rarities and and stuff like that, where you can get like higher tier legendary characters, epic or
Yeah.
rare or uncommon and common. That's literally ROK. That's ROK. That's Raid Shadow Legends. That's shit like that. So I get
Yeah.
what you're saying. I have promoted both of these.
Yeah.
I like them, and I really do. And I can't say certain things because legally I'm not allowed to. But there's certain things in it that you do because they want you to do it. Hypothetically, they give you a certain goal where they hypothetically want you to buy a certain amount of cases, and they hypothetically could maybe reimburse you. And you have to do it so people want to play them. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, this is pretty fucking obvious. I'm like, everyone understands in my stream, and I even I try to get around it, and I don't know. I've never had a problem where they've never told me to shut the fuck up and cease and desist my ass or something like that because I'm a small streamer. They're probably not watching, but when I see these things, I'm like, I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna tell my chat because you've probably heard me. I'm pretty fucking open with my chat. Like I don't bullshit nothing. I will give a very you know very solid like this is what's happening. I'm not gonna bullshit. I like to be pretty open with them.
Yeah.
I'll be like, yeah, so I'm gonna do this thing, and I'm like, I really highly doubt you guys should spend a single fucking penny on this, but I'm gonna do it, and we're gonna see if we can get something. And don't spend your money, but if you want to, you can. It's just this is the fucking percentage chance. It's like Apex Legends, literally buying
Yeah.
fucking cases. So they know, and I'm like, I'm not assuming everyone's gonna be a fucking idiot and spend their money on it, but if they want to, adults do what the fuck you want to do. I mean, I do the same thing. It's fun. But I have probably spent a grand total of $200 on shit like this, but I have only done it because I knew that I was going to be, reimbursed. And I think that's in my head, it's a bit shitty at the same time as it depends on how you go about it. I'm not really out here making content off of it. I'm not trying to sell a false reality of it. Like, have you watched any of the train wreck stuff? You understand like his whole thing where he gambles and he does it pretty heavily and he's very transparent about how he does it, and it's his money, but he's paid to be on a certain site because it helps them a little bit because he can gamble anywhere. He's going to gamble regardless, but if he's going to stream it, X person or stake, well, just genuinely stake,
Yeah.
pays him, and I shit you not, the number he said was about $16 million per month to just have their website, the one he gambles on, just specifically for that. Doesn't matter how much he's gambling, specifically just for that. And we already know that it's because they want them to fucking make, they want the viewers to turn into regular, addicts. And it's like any game, like, and as much as I, respect and enjoy these games, like, Apex and ROK and Raid and all that shit. Like I'll still like if Raid comes out and is like, hey, I want to do a sponsored stream again, absolutely I will because I know what it is. People know what it is. They're not stupid. I enjoy it. It's fun. Uh, there is a line there that it's like gotcha games are specifically there so you sink all your money into it, and eventually you start realizing, oh shit, I can't defeat this certain individual here unless I wait an unrealistically high amount of time for free, but they have this really killer deal they're telling me that I can buy X stuff. I can buy like this bundle for $150. And why
Hmm.
wouldn't I? Because then I'll be strong as hell. But guess what? Once you buy that bundle, guess what? The next one, $200. And it's pretty well the same shit, but you just don't know because you're not really putting too much time into it. You're not really understanding it. But that's when you realize that, like, once you get the
Yeah.
first bundle pop up and it's huge, it's on the screen. It's like let's say this is the whole phone right up here. It's this entire spot right here that'll just be full of these stupid ass little ads. I mean,
Yep.
like, oh yeah, buy this thing, and then the keys and all that stuff, and you're trying to do it for this percentage chance that you get, with the keys specifically, that you get something really good. Like you're hoping for that legendary 5-star character so you can really kick ass, but or you're getting the bundles to try to outfit them with the best gear. But like, uh, I'm glad that it's not like it used to be, where I don't know if you remember playing video games, on Xbox, where back in the day there were no microtransactions, and if they were, you had to go out of your way to find them.
Yeah.
Because they understood gaming at its core was because people were passionate about it, not because they're trying to lose all their money. And nowadays, you go on a mobile game or any game that's like you got, microtransactions and whatnot. usually mobile
Yeah.
games, and you get onto it, and all it is feeding you that. It's better though, and I think that it still has a good place, and it honestly is a good thing for the game because you remember the fucking wave of every single game you got onto. It was ad,
Oh
ad,
yeah.
ad, ad nonstop. And there's like we had an option to pay $1.99 or whatever it was to stop the ads. But that
Yep.
doesn't stop them from selling you a million things, right? Like I think it like as much as I understand that it's annoying and it's not exactly a whole lot of fun, it has its place. And I'm glad it's there because I know that a lot of people do just want to spend money to try to get ahead. And if that means they keep the game going forever and I enjoy playing it, fuck it. Let
Yeah.
Timmy over here fucking spend $1,000. I don't give a fuck. I'll spend $1. You know, that's it. That's all I want to do. But as long as I don't go back to ads on everything, like some of these shitty games, like games similar to Candy Crush and other
Yeah.
ones, then I'm happy. I don't really care. I'll even spend a couple bucks here and there on it, like which is weird because I won't spend a single dollar on Valorant.
Yep.
Fuck that. Well, I mean, I understand it a little bit because at least on the game, I'll spend $1 here and there, and the reason I'll spend $1 is I'm playing on an Android. All right, I'm playing on Android. Google is involved. Google Opinion Rewards. You get free money for answering certain questions, and I
Yeah.
have that on my phone. Do you have that too?
I do not.
I'd recommend getting it because as much money as you have, no matter what, no matter how many times you spend your own money, you're gonna remember that. You're gonna be like, damn, shouldn't have done that in your head a little bit, at least a little bit. But on there, this isn't an ad, by the way. This is not an ad. I'm not paid to say this. I'm not a financial advisor either for all the things I've been saying today. But anyway, so you download this app and you pretty well just have a little thing pop up sometimes saying, "Hey, have a little question for you." And then the question is, "Have you been to this store recently?" And you're like, "Yes." I'm like, and then they'll ask you, "Did you buy something? Whatever." And then certain things are like that. Or sometimes it's as easy as, "Do you like this brand?" Be like, "Yes or no." And I'm not gonna lie, they're probably selling your data to other places. I don't give a fuck. Um, and then they'll randomly be like, all right, cool. Thanks for answering my 2 second question. Here's 10 cents, 25 cents, 50 cents, $1, whatever.
Huh.
Now, the catch is you can only spend it on the App Store, but you can, and you didn't hear this from me, you can spend it on bits on an alt account to give it to your main account. And you can spend it on in-game purchases. So that's the fun part. So I use that on like ROK or Raid Shadow Legends or whatever I'm playing, or I'll just buy bits with it and donate to streamers that I watch, and they'll be like, hey, here's $1, 100 bits, enjoy the stream, something like that, right? So
Yeah.
I feel like the microtransactions in some ways aren't too bad. It depends on what you're on though, because I don't think I'm assuming on the App Store it probably exists. I just don't know 100%, but I know
Yeah.
the App Store, like they're a little more money hungry. They got rid of Fortnite because of that, uh, so maybe not. But yeah, that was a fucking that is my 2 cents on that one. I don't know. Microtransactions they're annoying, but we at least understand what they are, and you can see
Yeah.
through them. And it's like if you don't understand and you're stupid enough to get hauled into it, thank you, because now we can play the game for free because of you. Because you know, dumbass decides to spend $10,000 on a game, we don't have to. So, and they'll keep the game going. They can afford to keep the servers. So, fuck it. Is what it is.
Yep.
All right. Anything else on your mind today, or you fucking get to wrap it up?
Well, I think that my closing for this is that for directed to our last topic there about money and all of that, I highly recommend anyone listening to after this podcast go listen to Money Game by Ren. Part 2 though. It'll make you think a little bit, and it directly correlates to what we just discussed.
Mm-hmm. So just have like a little deeper meaning on it, deeper thoughts on it. Because like again, I don't really know a whole lot about all this stuff like micro. I know the base understanding because I do work with like these random companies here and there, like doing ads and sponsors and stuff like that. Very low
Yeah.
end, but like I see behind a couple of them and I understand why now because like they'll tell me I know all the information about how much one thing's worth and how much another thing's worth and how much they get out of it and what they're willing to spend for that one person to start getting a little
Yeah.
reeled in. and all of that, and like the it gets a little scary once it's a little freaky because you realize just how much little Timmy over here's fucking wallet is important to them, and it's nuts. But you know, stupid people will be stupid. So I do it. You know what? It's been a good podcast, a little good podcast this time. Good talks. We've had a good contrast on certain topics and stuff. And but it was probably our most laid back one. But I think we said the same type of shit about the last one. I think we're just getting more comfortable.
Yeah.
So yeah, dude. I mean, fuck. Episode number 3. Yeah, I think it's
Yep,
episode
3.
number 3. I'm fucking I'm not even really liquored, but holy shit, I have eaten like this much food, and I'm on a beer and a half, tall boy and a half. So again, this has been Liquid Therapy, the podcast that you can only find on YouTube and Spotify from the two most I guess we're pretty fucking famous, I'd say, right? Like we have a couple followers. We have like 11 followers on Twitter.
We're pretty big.
Yeah, we're pretty huge. I'm not gonna lie. So I mean, the podcast where we talk about stuff over a cold one and have some good conversations. If you guys want to be a part of the next one, make sure to join the Discord and follow the Twitter, because we would love to hear your thoughts on what we talked about today and maybe have some sort of idea of what you guys want to hear next time. So every Saturday we upload these things, or Sunday, we'll figure it out. And we'd love to hear some more. So guys, we'll catch you guys on the next one and in the socials. So we'll see you guys when we return with the old conversation. So later, gamers.